This map has 69 territories. Let's see how many 69 troop armies we will be able to build throughout the game. Welcome to the Risk Forever channel, guys. The channel which shares the most relevant tips and tricks on how to win at Risk, and improve your rank in no time. Subscribe to the channel and you won't even see how fast you will become so much better at Risk. Push that notification bell to see new videos first. This is your host Champion Ever, and today we're playing on the 69 territory map which is called Arkeanos. I'm the third, the red player in this game, and what I actually see is that I could potentially go for the top left continent, though the blue player might have the same plan, especially after the pink player added more troops in the continent. The blue player had the most troops himself. Though I have 5 troops in the continent below over here, and if I bring those troops to the continent I want to go for, maybe after all the blue player won't be contesting for it with me. Looking at the blizzards, they're quite impactful this time. For example, the continent the black player is going for is one border, meaning that the orange player can basically forget about the continent above it, because the black player would be able to break through it easily. Meaning that the orange player would rather find another good continent option to go for, which in this case the orange player missed an easy 2 territory and 1 border continent in the middle, or he will have to fight it out with the black player for the continent the black player is going for. The orange player chooses the latter, and I wouldn't say the situation is too best for the orange player, but considering the blue and pink players fight each other for the continent nearby, after all whichever one of them, black or orange, takes over that continent, then that player might be able to hold it successfully without wiping it out for another player. But in this case the odds are in the black player's favor, because the black player goes before the orange player, meaning that probabilistically he will trade in a set before the orange player does, and will get the opportunity to wipe out the orange player first. The purple player went for that small 1 border continent in the middle, and with that he is the first player to capture a continent in this game. Most likely he will be my biggest rival. As one thing, other players decided to go for continents in the right side of the map, while I'm going for the left side alone, and then additionally all those other players are fighting with each other. What I mean is that there are 2 pairs of enemies in the right side of the map, while probably nobody will take care of the purple player in the middle. My plan is to surpass the purple player the number of troops we get per turn as soon as possible. Though probably I cannot rush things out in the beginning. First of all, I will obviously take that 2 border continent I'm going for in the top, then I'll expand to the continent below it, and after that to the continent which is below the continent below it, while the purple player doesn't seem to have good expanding options near his original continent. Well, technically he could still go for the bottom left continent, but I hope that he will either stick to trying capturing continents next to him, or just be a very passive turtle player, which would let me take the advantage over him and might even have great chances to win the whole game, depending if other players will continue being in a big conflict with each other. I finally took over my first continent, and as you can see I sent alliance requests to all of those players. I did that so it would decrease chances of one of them breaking through my continent. Because why would you break through it if you're my ally, technically speaking? Though a bunch of those players are in a conflict with one another anyway, so I don't think they would break through me anyway, but just in case. Though alliance with the purple player, or rather making sure that he wouldn't break through me, matters a lot for sure, because most likely he will be my biggest rival in this game. And if not right now, then eventually it could be worth for the purple player to break through me for sure. And at the same time I have a plan to eventually betray the purple player myself, so as long as he just doesn't simply stay with 1 continent alone, because it really seems that all other players will take care of each other. At the very least when it comes to short term. I think ideally it would be great for me to wipe out purple's territories next to me just to make sure that he doesn't suddenly decide to break through me. And oh no guys, he actually goes for 1 border continent in the bottom left, which really ruins my plans, because most likely he will be able to get that continent before I get another continent for myself. and then that's one border. I'm not sure what about the purple player, what does he think, but if I was him, then I'd definitely break through the red player once the red player gets another continent. The purple player could really assert his dominance if things are done well, and as long as luck won't be a big issue to him either. Unfortunately, the pink player added troops in the continent I want to go for, but then actually after capturing a territory of mine he fortifies them to the purple player's continent, so that's good. And OMG guys. I cannot believe that he just quits the game like that. Lol. He raises the white flag, meaning that he took the last available place in this game, which in this case is the 6th place. And this is why I like playing with neutral inactivity behavior that much, because other players can take the last places instantly, then for example their bots making a comeback and getting the 2nd place, which I don't think is really fair by them getting rewarded over those players who stayed in the game. Unfortunately, the black player just closed the app or went away from the keyboard or device instead of surrendering, but still if he doesn't come back to the game in 10 minutes, then he will get the last available place at that time too. It will show that he is MIA. But before that some other player or players could get eliminated from the game, so I think 10 minutes are way too much. I wish the timer would be shortened by a lot. In this situation I'm not sure too much if I like the black player quitting the game, because it looks like the orange player will be so close of capturing one border continent. Though on the other hand it looks like with the pink player quitting too, the blue player will take over 2 border top right continent easily too, so I guess those players will balance each other out, though obviously it should be harder for the blue player to protect his continent properly, so the orange player might prevail, especially with orange player having the turn order advantage over the blue player. In other words, the orange player being able to trade in a set before the blue player, probabilistically speaking. Unfortunately, the purple player still goes to capture that one border continent immediately. And here is the decision point for me of what should I do. Should I break through the purple player, or should I just simply let him hold it while capturing another continent for myself and hope that the purple player wouldn't break through me either? I said well played to the purple player and sent him a thumbs up with a heart, so to show a good sign of diplomacy. But the purple player didn't send me anything in return, which I think highly improves the odds of him breaking through me over staying in a loyal alliance. So I definitely do not trust the purple player too much, and especially with him having a very great position, I mean 2 one-border continents, and if I was in the purple player's position, then I'd definitely consider betraying the red player first before he betrayed me, while all other players still seem taking care of each other. So sorry, not sorry purple, but I think it must have been done. Either eat or get eaten, that's life. Unfortunately right here I didn't realize that those territories don't connect with each other, so I wasn't able to fully take over the one border continent, but as long as the purple player doesn't have a set, I should still be good. The blue player had sent me an attack request to attack purple, and that encouraged me to attack the purple player even more. Whether it was the blue player's attention to manipulate me or not. Because on one hand it could be very beneficial for the blue player if I and purple keep wasting troops on each other without any of us becoming too overpowered. But why I say the blue player's attack request encouraged me, is because I might actually have a very great relationship with the blue player. Right here it isn't as much important, well maybe other than the blue player having a few territories next to me, which if he added more troops on them, could potentially break through them. But what I mean is that the alliance with the blue player could potentially become really important later on in the game. So in case he gets strong, then he would prioritize going after other players instead of targeting me. And OMG guys. The purple player actually has a 10 troop set at 3 cards, lololol. Well, not so funny anymore. Poor, very poor player called red. He's about to get crushed. And what makes matters even worse for him is that he didn't even take over that one border bottom left continent while he could. But risk forever guys. That's the name of the channel. Let's embrace it and rather risk losing in an interesting way than getting a win in the most boring way possible. though in this case I'm still very happy that I broke through the purple player anyway. I think that was the best move. Because just imagine what about if I didn't break through the purple player, and the purple player would have decided to betray me anyway. I would have been a complete toast, while right here I still have chances to win. And especially when the purple player didn't even go as aggressively on me. I mean, he broke through my continent, but still left me with 18 territories, which let me receive even 3 extraterritorial troops, lol. Right here I'm with 1 border continent, so I think I will be good. The purple player would have to get a good manual roll luck if he wanted to break through me. Also, I kept sending attack requests for the orange player because I actually thought that the continent the purple player holds has 2 borders. I thought the orange player could break through that 1 troop territory, but actually those 3 orange troops didn't connect it. Also, the orange player made a big mistake previously while trying to take over this continent by distributing troops improperly. He made a 10-troop army for a 4-troop army of the black player, while 9 troops would have been already enough to have 100% blitz roll. So due to that misplay, he only left 3 troops for 1 troop territory of the pink player, which had the success chance of 89% and failed, which led of the blue player taking over his continent faster than the orange player did. And right here the blue player could have even wiped out the orange player from the left bottom completely, but I guess he didn't go for it because he was afraid of me potentially breaking through him with me having territories nearby. That would have been risky. But isn't that more risky, letting the orange player hold the continent, trade in a set and potentially break through the blue player first? If I was the blue player, then I would have wiped out the orange player from the bottom right for sure. Similarly, like I tried wiping out the purple player from the bottom left before. Talking about the purple player, he got lucky to get even 3-troop advantage on my 4-troop army. But hopefully I will be able to get the attacker's advantage back when I break through one of his borders. I'm definitely not letting him hold the second continent, and I would even break through his main continent too if I could. The thing is that if you started a conflict with a player, then be ready to be enemies for the rest of the game. If that player somehow gets strong, then he will definitely look forward for revenge to retaliate in a proper way, or might even crush you. So the only way I stop fighting purple is if another player becomes too strong, but if not, then it's in my best interest to try getting rid of the purple player as fast as I can. That would be dumb for me to let him make a comeback. Also, usually I keep alliances whether it's another player who betrays me or it's me who betrays another player, so we would still be able to communicate. But I think in this case it's really unnecessarily when my main goal is to continue attacking the purple player as much as possible. I think it would be better to remake alliance in the official way later in case it's needed, rather than still be in alliance when we are clearly targeting each other, and wouldn't trust one another if we sent an attack request to each other to attack somebody. I'm not sure what's the orange player's plan right here by making that large troop split, but I think he's just setting himself to lose the game. I think the blue player will definitely wipe him out from the bottom right, and then the insane thing about that is that he might be able to hold even 3 continents under 1 border to guard. So I really hope that the orange player put those troops aside so to break through the blue player next turn. But honestly, the orange player should have all of his gotten troops next to the blue player's 15-troop army and crushed it along with breaking through the blue player's continent. He would have gotten the advantage over the blue player and actually had a great position, while right here that's possible that the blue player will get chances to dominate over the whole right side. So I think the orange player is playing way too passively, which could likely cost him the game. One thing I know that I'm definitely not playing too passively myself and wiping out all of the purple player's territories next to me so to try taking over the tremendous advantage and might even win the whole game. There's no reason to let the purple player hold that continent next to me and keep having those territories. I want that the purple player would stop being next to me, because I know that as long as he's next to me, he won't stop adding troops here, which prevents me of taking the advantage. Right here I like my position a lot. It would have been great to take over the 3rd continent, But I didn't want to risk leaving any of the purple player's territories next to me. Because who knows, he might have a 10 troop set at 3 cards again, so I think in this case it was better for me to play optimally than risky. Though I don't like leaving the blue player's 3 troop army next to me, and I know that the blue player could decide to betray me at any time. Though I think his main goal is to obviously finish dealing with the orange player first, to make sure that the orange player isn't an issue to him anymore. But yeah, unfortunately the orange player didn't do anything about the blue player, and the blue player gets to take over a very strong position. Unfortunately the orange player quits, so there's one opponent fewer for the blue player to deal with. But I mean, I'm about to be in a great position too. So for as long as the blue player focuses on any other players but not me, I should still be good. Though the purple player is about to trade in a set, and might look forward to retaliate to me, while the orange player raised the white flag, meaning that he took the last available place and the blue player doesn't have any enemy for himself, though the orange player was very passive and didn't provide any serious threat to the blue player anyway. So I think right here for the most part the game will most depend on the purple player, because if he retaliates to me, then the blue player having a 1-point strong 3-continent hold will obviously win the game. So that's something for the purple player to realize if he hasn't already. And then I kinda hope maybe the blue player misplays by himself in some way, potentially going after the bots, which would be the most ideal to me. But of course the blue player decides to break the alliance with me, which honestly should have been really expected by me. But yeah, basically he will be able to break through 2 of my continents. Oh boy, the blue player is actually about to win the game. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. Or did I? Well, I mean, let's still see if I'm able to win. Even though the blue player has a big advantage, we still expect him making some mistakes. But honestly it's going to be tough. At the very least the purple player offered to be in the alliance now. Obviously I accepted his alliance request. Because if I and purple waste troops on each other, then the blue player wins. That's simple. The purple player seems to be a wise player when it comes to the balance of the game. And right here I can actually see a pattern of what could I do, which I think a lot of players in my situation would miss. What can I do is to actually recapture those continents and shrink borders under 1 border to guard. Well, obviously there are more borders, but only 1 border to guard against the blue player. So as long as the purple player doesn't suddenly break through me now, we're still in the game. The blue player's biggest army is locked, and at least for a turn he cannot do anything about me. And then we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't fortify it next to my army. But of course he does, and assuming the purple player doesn't break through me now, which would just instantly give away the game to the blue player, everything's in my hand to do something. Well, me and the luck I would get. 57 versus 56 is an 88% blitz roll, so I hope I don't fail it. But then either way actually it makes a great opportunity for the purple player to make a comeback. I'm basically forced to crush the blue player's biggest army no matter what and then break through his continents if possible. But then it really depends how the purple player plays. Will he target me or blue more? Yeah, I do not have any other choice basically. If I let the blue player crush me, then he wins. So without seeing anything better to do, I'm absolutely down for that blitz. I'm not the biggest fan to do it, but I just have to. Let's go, let's do it. But OMG guys. I cannot actually believe that the blue player just simply quit like that without me even actually proceeding crushing his army. LOL guys. Now I'm guaranteed to win. All I have to do is to eliminate the purple player and the game is mine. I mean, the game will immediately end after I eliminate the purple player, because all of the other players already took the last available places when they either went MIA or raised the white flag. Though the purple player might not necessarily realize that, and I want to show some respect and appreciation because he played to win, and I would like to eliminate all of the bots before him, even though it doesn't matter the ranking wise anymore. Yeah, he even helps me do it. So let's just crush all of those bots for the fun. Let's eliminate all of those bots before I eliminate the purple player. Well, the purple player actually started to attacking me. So I think he might prefer that we would finish the game earlier to save the time. But honestly, if he just raised the white flag, then the game would end immediately and with him still getting the second place. But yeah, I guess let's just let us have some fun by attacking each other. The conflict we started in the beginning of the game finally has to be ended. Now check out the 100 territories map video. It's the biggest risk map ever, and it would just be insane to miss it.